Jeff Davis, President of Lordship Investments and Director of New Way Community Development, coming to you today with 5 Minutes to Live By. This program focuses on different topics in areas such as Christianity, business, insurance, sales, finance, marriage, etc. Today we're going to be coming out of a book I wrote, How to Become a Real Estate Investor. Wrote this book for people who are looking at the different ways that they can get into real estate investing, offered some practical suggestions and tips for you. Again, how to become a real estate investor. Today, I want to talk to you about how to develop a rental property business or a landlording business. Now, this is my heart and passion. Out of all the things that you can do in real estate, I love the landlording part of it because it's the passive income. There are ways to make other money, fix and flip or wholesaling. You can make bigger checks each time, but landlording gives you steady income, and I like steady income. So when you're looking to become a landlord or build a rental business, first of all, you have to understand that there is a lot of accounting required to do this, meaning that you have to keep track of the rents that come in. You have to keep track of late payments. You have to be ready to send people a 5-day notice if they are behind on their rent. You have to be ready to initiate eviction proceedings. There's a lot that goes on here apart from just taking in the rent. So the first thing that I would suggest you do is that you look at it as a business and you set up some type of accounting system. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do this. You can get an accounting system that you input information yourself. You can designate or give a lot of these responsibilities to your accountant or CPA. Throughout the year, you send them the information they need once a month and they'll prepare reports. Or you could bring someone on your team whose responsibility is taking care of the administrative side of the landlording business. You also want to make sure that you're aware of what the policies are in your city. Now, in the U.S., you have two types of cities. You have what are called landlord-friendly cities and tenant-friendly cities or states. Typically, that's a better way to look at it. Basically, what it means is, in some states, if you're a landlord, then the laws work in your favor. In other states, if you're a tenant, the laws work more in your favor. So for the tenant, for example, it means it could take a long time for you to evict somebody. In a landlord-friendly state, you typically get to evict people relatively quick. So you just want to look at that. It all depends on where you want to build your business. As I said, so you need to have some type of accounting program, somebody to take care of that aspect of it. And then you have to put something in place where you see your property. It works if you can get by there once a month, once every 2 months. I mean, you got good tenants. You don't have to be there all the time, always showing up. But you cannot let people stay in your property and you don't see what's going on. So if you're not able to go there, it's always nice to have somebody that you can send by just to kind of make sure that they haven't done anything crazy. Some of the crazy things I've seen is people will let their kid paint their bedroom black, which is a total waste of time. And then you're going to find out, might as well get into this now, you're always going to have a lease with people. And the lease needs to be, of course, based on the state you live in. But in your lease, you want to be as specific as possible about what they can and cannot do in your property. And since you're giving them a place to live, you don't want them going in there making changes. You don't want them going in there making major changes. So even something as simple as painting a room a color different than what you gave it to them, you need them to say, before you do that, we're going to have a discussion. You should never let somebody get in there and treat the house like it's their own, unless it's at least their own home. If it's a regular tenancy, you have to keep people in their place because they will abuse your place. The lady put black paint on the wall and then she moved out. You know how hard it is to paint over black paint? It's a very difficult thing to do, and it's time consuming, and you end up having to pay for it. You also want to look at the property because you want to make sure they're not tearing it up. You want your tenants to tell you when something's wrong when it's wrong. You don't want them to let something leak and it goes on weeks and weeks and months and no one says anything. Because a lot of tenants, sad to say, are used to having properties with problems. But you're giving them a property with no problem. You want to make sure that they understand that if there are problems, you want to know right away. So Setting up a rental property business, I think, is a great idea, especially if you're going to own more than one investment property. I mean, even if you have just one, you still have to have a system in place because there's a lot of taxation involved with owning real estate. The book, How to Become a Real Estate Investor. You can get it at www.nwcom.org, www.nwcom.org, or you can go to Amazon, look for the book by Jeff Davis or books by Dr. Jeff Davis, pick up a copy. I want to thank you for taking this time to go through this with me today. And until next time, I want to wish you a great day full of success and happiness.